Hey, what's up, guys? You hear that? Fuck, I love this shit. All right. So, how to make an extra income, right? How to make an extra $2,000-3,000 a week or a month, depending on how much time you want to dedicate to this. That's a really good question, and I simply want to share with you guys how I'm able to do this, right? How I'm able to make anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 a week, even more sometimes, right? It's very simple. I'm gonna share with you guys exactly what I do, the tools that I use, and we're gonna break this video down into 3 parts, right? We're gonna go into the first part right now, which is my psychology when it comes to day trading. Then we're gonna go into the tools that I use. And then at the end, I'm gonna show you guys a few examples of a few trades I did with one specific company this week. Actually in the past 3 days, right? So I'm gonna show you guys every single trade. I did maybe about 10 trades, and from one single company in 10 trades, every single trade was in the money. And I was able to profit, I think, about maybe $1,200 to $1,300, right? So let's get started. So, first of all, what type of day trader am I, right? I personally believe I am super unique. Most day traders only care about charts, volume, and trends, right? And maybe a few other things, but that's pretty much all they look at. They don't care about the company, the fundamentals. They don't care who the CEO is or the balance sheet. I personally care a lot about this stuff, right? The only companies that I day trade with are companies that I know. So how do I do this? I look at my portfolio, right? I have a long-term portfolio that I simply invest in certain companies that I absolutely love, that I know who's running the business. I've read their balance sheet. I've heard all their conference calls, earnings calls. I read their 10Ks. So I know the companies in and out, right? And I just look at my portfolio every day and I see, hey, what companies are at a good price today? And those are the companies I start analyzing the charts, right? And yeah, so I invest only in I day trade only in companies that I absolutely know, that I absolutely love, okay? That's super unique of me, right? You're not gonna find a lot of day traders like that, okay? And why do I do this? Again, because I know the companies. I know if in the point in time I'm getting a good price or not, right? Let's say we have a huge dip in the market. So I know if I'm getting a good price. And if for whatever reason, right, the stock doesn't go up that day, hey, maybe I could turn it into a swing trade, right? And sometimes I make a lot more money like that by doing swing trades. So, oh, you're falling here. Sorry. Yeah, so that's why I personally like investing in companies that I know, right? I don't go in this websites like FinViz and all that stuff, and I don't run scanners to tell me what companies have the most volume or what companies have the biggest jump in the day. I don't do that at all, no. I only invest with companies that I personally like, okay? So that's number one. Now let's take a look at the tools that I use, okay? So let me just turn on the recorder here. All right, great. So let's take a look at this chart here, right? I'm gonna give you guys an example of the past 3 days and all the trades that I did in the past 3 days with Coinbase, okay? So first of all, let's start with the tools that I use, okay? The tools that I use, I only use 4 tools, right? I use the news. If you see here on the bottom, you're gonna see the news. And this actually populates every single second that there's news related to my company that I have, like the company that we're looking at here. Every single second it tells me if there's any news, right? So I'm constantly looking at this, right? If there's any big volatility, I will definitely look at this and see if there's any news, or if it's a simple, sell-off, right? And maybe I could take advantage of the moment and buy the dip, right? So news is truly important. And the next tool that I have here is the RSI, okay? This will simply tell me if a stock is oversold or overbought, right? For example, if we look at here, it went over the 80, right? It went over the 80 mark. So that means that the stock was overbought, which was right here, right? And you can see that after it hit this point, it went straight down, right? So we know that in this type of situations, we can short the company. Let's see if there's another scenario where it's oversold. Okay, here, for example. Here, the stock almost hit the 20 mark, right? So anytime it hits the 20 mark, that's a good time to buy. And look what happened here. It hit the 20 mark and it bounced right off, right? So the RSI is another tool I look at. And the other tool, the other two tools is simply the 200 EMA and the VWAP. That's all I use. That's the 4 tools I use. And that's how I'm able to make 10 good trades out of 10 trades, right? So now let's analyze the actual trades, okay? Let's look at the past 3 days, right? So as you can see here, let's look at day number 1. This was last Friday, right? Last Friday, the day was very choppy. I knew that the day was gonna be very choppy because Bitcoin and Dogecoin and Ethereum, they were going through a recovery, right? So I knew that the day was going to be very choppy with Coinbase because I had identified a trend that every time Bitcoin and Ethereum fell, for some reason Coinbase would follow their trends, right? And it'll lag a little bit. So it gave me the opportunity to trade this quite a few times this day, right? So I started off the day very slow. I bought here when it dipped, I bought here when it dipped, and I bought here when it dipped. A total of 100 shares. And as you can see here in this picture that I'm going to put up on the screen, I profited from this trade $100. So from this small trades, I try to only aim for maybe about $100, $200, depending on the situation. If it's a day that's very choppy, that I don't really have a good feeling, I just try to do $150 to $100 per trade, right? So here we made $100, and then here I bought the dip here again. Again, I put these areas of resistance and support. So again, the support lines are these 2 red lines that I put here. It's just something I drew, right? So I knew that anywhere between $225 and $226 was a good time to buy. And then when you got close to the VWAP, I simply sold the stock, right? So that's simply it. I mean, anytime it hits the support levels, you just buy, and we know that the VWAP is a great point of support. So we just sold here. So there was another $100, right? And let's take a look at the next day. So what did I do this day, right? I also, at the end of the day, Elon Musk actually tweeted something that was very interesting, and the news came out. So I actually did a swing trade here. I actually bought 50 shares on this dip, and I held them for the next day because I knew that with this news, it was gonna spread all over the world, right? And what happens when we get news like this from Elon Musk, right? He moves the markets. So the next day was obviously going to start off real good. So there was going to be a lot of volume the next day, and a lot of people would want to buy the stock. So I was actually able to sell it at $232, I believe. So we got like $600 from that trade. That was pretty cool. So we did a swing trade, we got $600. We did 2 day trades the day prior, and we made $200, right? So $600, $700, $800 in less than 24 hours. And then this day, let's see. Okay, what was I able to do the next day? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think I only did a 1 day trade because we got some pretty bad news from the Fed. I'm going to put it up on the screen. So as you can see, right when the Fed announced that, it was like around 10:50. Look what happened with the stock. It went down. And I honestly didn't like that news. I thought that day was going to be a little choppy. I even thought it was going to go down a lot more, but it didn't. So I actually just turned off the computer. I'm like, all right, we had a good day. It's only 11 in the morning, and we just went to the beach. I went to the beach with my girlfriend, and we enjoyed the rest of the day. I left for the day. That's it. I stopped trading because I didn't like the news, and I made my goal for the day, which was around $700 with this specific stock. In total, this day we made about $2,500 with some other trades. Right? So I just left, which is sometimes the best thing to do if you're not certain about the trades or the day because of the news. The best thing to do is simply to leave, to stop trading right there. That's the best thing to do, okay? So sometimes the best move is simply not to move at all. All right, so let's go to the next day. Obviously here the stock exploded, right? Now the stock went up to $250. So I saw that, and immediately I knew that the stock IPO'd at $250. It's been beaten down a lot in the past few days. So I kind of knew that the stock was gonna go down, right? So I didn't buy until it hit the 200 EMA line, right? I think I did my first purchase here, and boom, I was able to make a quick $100. I think it was $130. Yep, it was $130 that I profited from the first trade. And then again, the day was I didn't really know what was gonna happen today. I thought it was actually gonna go down a lot more, but I was able to simply trade the the 200 EMA line and the VWAP. So I did 3 trades, and on each trade I made about $100. I think I did 3 or 4 trades, and yeah, in total I made $300 today. So yeah, I mean, again, it's a simple method. If it is the 200 EMA line and the stock is simply being volatile between the 200 EMA and the VWAP, I mean, simple time. I mean, it's easy. It's easy to identify when to buy, when to sell, right? You buy here, you sell here. Again, you try to not buy in these areas, but again, here it's getting close to the 200 EMA, so it's a good time to buy. Then you sell at the VWAP, good time to buy, then you sell, and so on, yeah. So yeah, guys, I mean, this is the 4 tools I use. Again, the news, the RSI, the VWAP, and the 200 EMA, okay? Let me know, guys. Let me know what you guys think. All right. What type of trading do you guys use? What tools do you use? Let me know, please, in the comments down below. I'm super interested. And thanks for watching, guys. Truly appreciate you. See ya.